and we're joined by Coach Luke Fickell from Cincinnati. Bearcats are 2-1 overall. We're in action against Miami of Ohio this past Saturday. Cincinnati won the game 35-13. Bearcats are idle this week. Their next game will be the 28th of September at Marshall. Coach, thank you for joining us on the call this morning. You can just give us your thoughts on the victory bell game against Miami and your plans for the open week as you get ready for the game on the 28th against Marshall.
Yeah, last week obviously a rivalry game was, I think, 14 in a row for us with the rivalry game, so it's always great. The respect we have for them and for the rivalry is what's most important. We didn't play as great and as clean as we'd like to. We didn't start off real well, down 10-0, but rolled off 28 straight, I think, from there in the second half, really kind of controlled things and, found our groove a little bit more. But noon games have been a little bit of a struggle for a start for us, and we got to do a much better job. But, we are idle this week, so we got an opportunity for coaches to get out on the road and do some recruiting, which is where most everybody is today. We won't practice. We'll get back going Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just really trying to get ourselves clean up a lot of the things right now. We're averaging way too many penalties, so for this week it's big to focus on ourselves. And, it's not as easy to self-scout yourself after only 3 games, but we really got to do a good job at cleaning up some things offensively and defensively to not put ourselves in a tougher situation. We'll spend a lot of this week doing that.
We'll take questions for Coach Fickell. Please star 1 on your telephone keypad. We'll put you in the queue, then the operator will introduce you.
We'll hear from Dan Tortora with wakeupcalldt.com.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
How are we doing, Dan?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. Obviously, with a 2-1 start for you, and as you move forward into this idle week, just what your takeaways have been from the first 3 games and in that loss to Ohio State, if there were any positives or any, kind of pieces that you can build upon as you move forward.
I don't know if there was a whole lot of positives. I think we learned a lot more about ourselves, just, even from the way we start the game. Those noon games have been a little bit rough for us. I think it's humbling, and I think I said that from the get-go. Don't get me wrong, there are some things that we will take out of it, and we did take out of it. But really for us is just, getting ourselves back in the swing. Right now we're in the first 3 games. I mean, we are 2-1, none of which we played clean. I don't mean we didn't play good. I just mean giving ourselves better opportunities, the pre-snap penalties that really make it difficult a lot of times, more so on the offense with the false starts and things like that. I'm okay when we have aggressive penalties. We had a couple this week. I don't want personal fouls on late hits on quarterback, but when you're aggressive, there might be a step here and there that's a questionable call. So I think that we got to really do a good job at cleaning some of those things up. As the competition and things that we're going to face here are going to get better and better, we can't put ourselves in holes, self-inflicted things that I consider as undisciplined pre-snap penalties. So I think this week we're going to do a lot of focus on ourselves and how can we eliminate a lot of those pre-snap and post-snap things. The aggressive ones, I understand. We preach you and we coach you to be aggressive, so they're going to have some of those. But the other ones, the undisciplined ones, we got to focus on ourselves and do a lot better job of.
And then as far as, the battle inside of the state of Ohio, recruiting-wise, with all the talent that's there and trying to bring guys into Cincinnati, just what you can say about that. I mean, you fight these teams on the battlefield on Saturdays, and at the same time you fight them on the recruiting trail. Just what you can say about the state of Ohio and Cincinnati's connection there.
Well, it's great high school football. I think that's the thing you love about Cincinnati, and extending into Dayton. So it's big time, and the kids that come from those programs, they know what big time ball is about, and they know what the commitment level and the sacrifice level. And I think that's what we love about what we're trying to build here. That when you bring those guys in, it's not as foreign to them. Now, does that mean we only recruit that area? No, but we're so fortunate to have really good high school programs in our state, especially in our city, that we believe, who's to say which kid is really better, what star is higher, how a kid's ranked. I know that, you go to combines and you go to those things and they get different rankings, but you still got to look at what's going to fit best and be able to thrive in your program and the things that you expect of your guys. And for us, we're fortunate that a lot of those kids coming from these programs, in Cincinnati and within the state, fit well in a lot of the things that we want to do here as a culture. So I think it's twofold for us. We love the football. We've got a lot of great relationships, so we know a lot more about the kids. And if we really believe that they'll fit into the structure of what we do. I don't mean offensively and defense. I just mean into the structure of how we run a program.
Well, good luck in this off week, and I'll talk with you soon, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other questions for Coach Fickell, please? *1 on your telephone keypad.
We have a question from Fletcher Page with the Cincinnati Enquirer.
Hey, Luke. How's it going?
How are we doing, Fletcher?
I'm good. I know you said a couple weeks ago that you don't talk to Mike very much about the schedule, but is it advantageous to have a road trip to Ohio State, a road trip to Marshall, to help get you guys ready for trips later in conference play to Houston and Memphis?
I mean, you got to find the positives in everything. I think that's what we can find in this, and going to Ohio State obviously is a big, huge stage. Going to Marshall is going to be what our kids don't understand. It's going to be a big stage as well. It's going to be a live place, and I think that they'll enjoy that. But that's the positives we're going to get out of it. We're going to have to go and load up and go to Houston. We're going to have to load up and go to Memphis. So there's going to be some big travels for us as we get into the league. So we got to look at these things as an opportunity for us to learn how to travel. How do we do things? How do you do things when you only got your 70 guys? But if we all know, I don't know that they're the greatest ones sometimes. But what is, So no matter what, we got to find a way to say, hey, how do we make this a benefit? Obviously, we got a great game, we got a great opponent, but how do we also get better at what we do? And traveling is a big part of that because your routine changes. So you're always going to have a few here in the first 4 non-conference ones, and so you got to get better at it because ultimately you got to play your best ball at the end of the year, and you're going to have to travel a lot at the end of the year.
And you got this week off, maybe get some guys healthy. Do you guys have maybe an estimated timeline for when you guys might get Jared Dokes back?
Well, we are hoping. I mean, we really are. I mean, it's this bye week will be an opportunity. He's been off the last couple. Hopefully that he'll feel good enough, and we don't ever want to put a guy out there that's not going to be able to defend himself and put him in harm's way. So we'll be able to test him a little bit more this week and see where he is going into next week and see how he feels. I think that we got some, what we believe is some good news on him, but until we get out there and do it, we got to see. But he would be a big boost for us, not just his running ability, but his leadership and a lot of things he can do in the backfield as well.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thanks, Fletcher.
Next, we'll hear from Justin Williams with The Athletic.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
How we doing?
I got 2 quick ones for you. First, you've been kind of open and obviously have shown that your willingness to go for it on 4th down and wanting to be aggressive. On the flip side of that, curious a couple games in where your confidence level is in Sam Crosa and a field goal unit.
Well, we probably, as you look back at it, the last one there in the game, do you go ahead and kick it right there just to get some more work out and to put Sam out there? It wasn't from a lack of confidence in him at all. It's probably one of those things I go back and look at and say, we should have done that just to, for him to get another opportunity to go out there and kick because he hasn't had quite as many opportunities, but still got the utmost confidence. We got an idea of where his range is, and if it gets beyond his range, I think we feel good about Cole still being the guy with the longer field goals. But we got to have some more opportunities to probably put them out there and take some of those shots, just to get them some work. So haven't had quite as many opportunities. We've gone for it a few times here this last week, and then probably the last one I didn't know what was the right thing, to kick a field goal there or take a knee or just play it out. So we ended up continuing to go for it, keep the clock rolling. Probably if I look back, I wish I would have at least put him out there to get him another opportunity to kick a field goal.
You talked, especially towards the end of camp, about kind of how impressed you were with the defensive line, a lot of new, maybe inexperienced players there. They've had some good moments through the first few games. What have you been impressed with? What do you think they've done well so far?
Well, I think they've been able to roll and have depth, and I haven't seen that selfish nature that sometimes when, hey, he got 32 reps and I got 24 reps, or I know it's only been 3 games, but their ability to play together, their ability to sub, whether it's third down or first down, sometimes, as things start to happen, the natural tendency of some of those selfishness to kind of filter in, especially sometimes on third down stuff. So, yes, I think they've played well. They've played together, and I think the strength is going to be in the entire unit. And I think, that's what I feel best about so far after 3 games.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, thanks so much for your time this week. We look forward to hearing from you once again next Monday.